I want to thank you guys all for being here today. I know it's late in the day, so I know we're all tired. We got things to do. And I was hoping Mr. Roach would be here today. And the reason I say that is because seniors, you probably know this, you have to give a speech in front of his class, 5-minute speech. And with a minute left, he throws a towel at you to tell you to wrap it up. So I was going to say if he's here, throw a towel at me if I start rambling on. But if I start rambling, someone in the front row here, don't be afraid, throw that water bottle. I know my grandma right there. She's been wanting to throw something at me all her life. All the cookies I steal from her and everything. So you guys know, my name is Patrick Wiese. A little bit about me. I was born in New York City. Lived in Puerto Rico for about a year. Couldn't handle it. Fair skin, red hair. So had to come home. So I went to Holy Cross Elementary School, went to CBA, graduated in 2010, and then I went to college at Lemoyne College nearby. I graduated in 2014 with a bachelor's degree in communications and a minor in business. I'm proud to say I'm a New York Yankees fan, and I'm saddened to say that I'm an even bigger Buffalo Bills fan. But that's something I'm just going to have to live with. I know Mr. Keogh is too. I don't know where, there he is back there. So to start off, if I could just have every one of you guys just close your eyes real quick, about 30 seconds. Don't fall asleep on me, please. And just imagine something that you love to do, right? Something that puts a smile on your face. I don't care what it is, if it's cooking, it's playing some basketball, playing with your dog, going for a run, skiing. Just something that you love to do. Think about it, because I'm going to ask you guys. All right, you guys can open up your eyes. Does anyone want to share anything that they came up with? No? You guys don't love to do anything? Yeah, Jack. Absolutely. Dancing. Love that. I could use some lessons if you're up for it. I got a wedding coming up the end of this year, so. Anyone else? Yes.
Playing with my dog.
Love it. Over here, these two. Reading? Lacrosse. Love it. All good stuff. So I was a junior at Lemoyne College. I was playing baseball there. I started experiencing some pain in my leg. As athletes over here, I can see athletes all over the place. We play through the pain. It's just part of who we are. So I was playing through this pain my whole junior year. At the end of the year, I was lucky enough to be first team conference, second team all region, and I was headed to the NECBL. I'm not bragging, it's part of the story. Let it go. So all the baseball fans here, you all know that the Cape Cod League is the #1 summer baseball league in America. All the pros, potential pros go there. I was going to the NECBL, which was the second. A little guy from Division II school. I was playing with kids from Virginia, Clemson, Vanderbilt. And there I made the All-Star team. Why am I telling you this? Because my goal, my dream, was to become a professional baseball player. A lot of you guys might get it wrong, make it to the MLBs, being a pro, but single A, double A, triple A, that's pro baseball, and that was good enough for me if I made that. So that was my dream. Let's go back to my junior year, about this pain that I was experiencing in my leg. About 30 to 40 minutes before each game, I couldn't walk. I don't know why, just I couldn't walk, I couldn't run, I couldn't warm up. Sometimes it was worse than others. Some games it wasn't there. A couple of my buddies came up to me, he's like, "You all right?" Like, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'll be all right. Give me 30, 40 minutes. When the game starts, I'll be good to go." The adrenaline kicks in. You don't worry about it. The season ended. I took a couple weeks off before I headed to the NECBL up in Vermont. The pain went away. Once I went back to Vermont to start playing in the summer, the pain came right back. I dealt with it for about 6-7 months, so I knew what I was dealing with. This time it just got a little worse. Worse where I would be up at night, sweating, wouldn't be able to sleep, biting my pillow, crying. But it was alright. I played through it. So I got back my senior year. I was ready to go. Captain of the team. I was, ready to get after it and ready to make some noise in conference. I was ready to graduate with a degree, and I was ready to move on with my life. All of a sudden, the pain got worse. So bad that I'm going to tell you guys this because I was hoping there wouldn't be any 7th, 8th graders in here. But so bad that I would get drunk and I would black out just to ease the pain. I lived in a 2-story apartment with a couple buddies. My bedroom was on the 2nd floor. Half the time I couldn't even go upstairs. I slept on a couch downstairs. No idea why. I was scared to tell some people because I was an athlete. I had to play through the pain. Finally, I couldn't do it anymore. Between getting blackout every night, sleeping on the couch, not going to class because I can't even walk to class. Sorry, Dad. And then when I did go to class, I had to take the elevator up one flight of stairs. So I thought it was finally time to, take care of this, figure out what was going on. So fortunately, my dad, who was an orthopedic surgeon, he came in and he took a look at it. And he said it was a bone bruise. Right? A bone bruise. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like crying over here. It was just a bone bruise. He couldn't see anything. He couldn't feel anything. The trainer said the same thing. There's nothing structural wrong. There's nothing. You're walking fine. It's just pain. Well, I didn't tell him, though. I've been experiencing this pain for a year. So the next 2 weeks, the same thing. I call my dad again. I go, Dad, we need an MRI. We need something. He says, okay, come on in. Luckily, he's about 5 minutes from here. So I drove my car up. I get an MRI, right? If anyone's had an MRI before, hate them. You're just sitting in there and things so loud. I can't believe in 2016 they haven't thought of a better way to give MRIs. It just blows my mind. So I get out, and, I talk with my dad a little bit. He says, what do you got going on? I go, I'm about to head to class. After class, I'm about to go to the baseball field, take some BP, some practice. He says, all right, have a good day. I'll let you know later today. I get back to Des Moines. I'm in statistics class. I can't believe I'm saying this, Mr. Keogh. I had my phone on my desk. The things you don't know about me. But I had my phone on my desk, and all of a sudden, it's a call. It's a call from my old man. That's kind of when it started hitting me. Something was a little wrong. I told him I was in class. He never calls me in class. He understands it's academics, athletics. So I leave the class, and I call him back. And I go, what's wrong? He says, you got to come back in. His voice is kind of cracking a little bit. So I go. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's just a slight tear, MCL, maybe a hairline fracture. Nothing bad. I'll be out for the fall. But come spring, I'll be ready. So I'm driving back to my dad's office. Beautiful day, September 10th. Beautiful day. Windows down. Zach Brown Band, Knee Deep is on. Singing along. I get up there and I meet him out back. He says, you have a tumor. Now, I really don't know what that meant at that time. I really didn't. Honestly, I really did not know what that meant. Nothing else was said. I had to go back and get x-rays and more MRIs. So when I was in the MRI machine, that's when it really hit me, that I have cancer. At 23 years old, I'm 23 now. At 21, I had cancer. So I'm in there for an hour straight, all these questions going through my head. Right? Am I going to play baseball again? Am I going to live? Am I going to graduate? Right? Am I going to spend senior year with my friends? Am I going to get a job? Am I going to find a wife? Am I going to have kids? Am I going to be my son's baseball coach, my daughter's softball coach? You name it. Every question went through my head. So I get out, and we got to run more tests to see, what the diagnosis is and what the future is to hold. So I get home, and the first thing I do is I go on Google. And I type in survival rate of osteosarcoma, which was the name of cancer I had. which is bone cancer, and two numbers popped up, 66 and 33. 66 was 66% chance I would die if the tumor had spread to my lungs and other body parts. 33% chance of dying if it was localized. So if you had a dice, a 6-face dice, and my numbers were 1 and 2 and you rolled it and a 1 or 2 popped up, I'd be dead. I know a lot of you guys are young, but I don't know if you remember Jerry McNamara. Seemed like that guy hit a 3 every single time down the court. He shot 35% from 3-point. I was Jerry McNamara hitting a shot away from dying. More recent, Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter hit 314. His lifetime, he hit 314. I had a better chance of dying than Derek Jeter did of getting hit. So where do we go from here? I've tried to memorize this surgery, the last 4 speeches I've given, and I still can't get it. There's a lot of doctor words that I still don't understand. My dad tried to coach me every single week to get it right. I'm not even going to try it. But what happened was I needed what doctors call a knee replacement on steroids. So what they need to do, they need to go in my leg, they need to take part of my femur, part of my tibia, and up my whole knee out. So knee, bone, ligaments, tendons, muscle, all of it, gone. 4 months of rehab, just to be able to walk again. I'm walking pretty normal. 4 months of rehab just so I could walk again. And on top of that, I needed 6 months of chemotherapy, where Adrian Myson, cisplatin, and methotrexate became my best friends. Right? So the first couple of weeks in the hospital, I have to do all of that, and I have to go to rehab to get my knees, just so I can walk again. And for what? I didn't know. I still had a chance of dying. Right? Who knows if the chemo would have worked? So I'm in the hospital, I'm throwing up, I'm sweating, I can't sleep. And one word just keeps coming back to me. It's happiness. How do I become happy? I'm miserable. I'm not normal. Everyone looks at me. Right? So how do I become happy again? And then I got to thinking. This is where that CBA education comes in hand. Because they told me critical thinking's critical. So I started thinking, how do I become happiness? How do I become happy? How do I achieve this happiness? And then I realized you can't be happy unless you struggle. You can't. Just like there's no Batman without Joker, just like there's no East without West, just like there's no teachers without students, there's no students without teachers, right? Happiness needs struggle. The only way you can become happy is if you struggle. Because struggling is being mad, it's being angry, it's being disappointed, it's being let down. If you don't feel those, you have no idea what happiness is. So I got that. This is it. This is part of it. All right, I'm getting somewhere. So now how do I get from where I am, from struggling, to happiness? How do I build that bridge of recovery to get from struggling to happiness? 3 ways. 3 ways I did this. The first one was time. So how many of you guys are going to go home and go to sleep tonight? Everyone. Yeah, everyone. If you don't, oof. But everyone's going to go to sleep tonight, right? And why do we sleep? Because the body needs to recover, right? And no matter how long you sleep, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, it takes time. So if sleep is recovery, recovery is time. It takes time. And with that time, you have to trust. You have to trust the process, that things in the end will get better. You have to trust in your friends. You have to trust in your family. You have to trust whoever is a stakeholder in your life that things will get better. You have to trust the big man upstairs, that he's got your back. Because he does. He really does. The second thing, and I give the credit to my grandpa on this one, was don't ring the bell. There was a retired Navy SEAL who gave the commencement speech to the University of Texas in 2014. His name was William McRaven. He's a retired Navy SEAL. And one of his takeaways to the students, to the teachers, to the faculty, to the staff was don't ring the bell. And he went on to explain, in Navy SEAL school, there's a bell in the middle of the campus. I forgot what they call it, but I'm just going to call it campus. There's this bell, this big brass bell, and all you have to do is ring it if you want to leave. So if you ring that bell, no more 5 a.m. wake-up calls, no more freezing swims, no more freezing running in the rain, no more enduring all the hardships that they go through. All you got to do is ring that bell. It's that simple. And his advice was never ring that bell. Don't ring it. You have to have hope. You have to have hope. And now sometimes I lost hope when I was in the hospital. I mean, I lost it a lot of times. I was ready to give up. I didn't know what to do, right? So what I did was I reached out to family, friends, teachers, and I told them, I'm ready to ring the bell. And what did they do? They picked up that hope and they gave it back to me. They told me to keep fighting and never ever ring that bell. The third thing is do what you love, right? Remember how I had you guys close all your eyes before? Think about that right now. Just think about that one activity that puts a smile on your face. Right? Do it. Please, do it. No matter how bad things get, everything will get better. Everything will go south on you, right? We all go through our own struggles, no matter how small, no matter how big. And how do we forget about that for a little while? Is doing something that we love. So you might want to ask what I do. Right now I currently coach at OCC baseball, because baseball is still what I love to do. I like to swim, I like to golf, I like to ride my bicycle. I may not be able to play basketball, but I can ride my bicycle, so I've entered a couple of team triathlons. Every day I'm reminded of what I was and what I am, right? I look in the mirror, I got an inch-long scar on my chest of where they pumped chemotherapy. I got a 12-inch long scar on my leg to let me know that I got a metal rod, metal knee in there. I got friends that are always doing stuff, want to play basketball, they want to go skiing, and I can't do that. Every 4 months I gotta go get my blood drawn. I gotta go get a CAT scan. I gotta go PET scan. Any other animal scan. I have to do that. I'm constantly reminded of what I have to do. It stinks. It sucks. So what do I do to recover from that? Is I do something I love to do. Fortunately, we got practice at 9 p.m. tonight, so after this, I get to go play some baseball with some kids. That's awesome to me. That's awesome to me. I can go to bed with a smile. So do what you love. Thank you.